Projects and Politics here with DJ Battlecat, the one and only. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Glad to be here, King.
All right. First question, who is DJ Battlecat?
DJ Battlecat is a young, up-and-coming, successful DJ with a high ambition to be someone in life. And as a DJ, he found another lane and another gift to add to his journey, which was becoming a producer, a musician, and had made himself now a whole house name, world-renowned, successful platinum producer, songwriter, community activist, sold more than 150 million records around the world, and still active to this day. That's Battlecat.
Yes, sir. How did you get into music?
How did I get into music? Starting from my foundation, who conceived me and brought me into the world. My father is a vocalist, pianist, musician. My mother is a vocalist, pianist, and musician. And they both have two different dynamics and experience of music. What they both had in common was the love for music and the taste of music, and they both, like I said, they both are vocalists and musicians at hand, self-taught, and I learned from them the celebration of music, how to live with music, how to be happy, how to be inspired from being pushed against the wall, how to take a song and celebrate and funk yourself out of the situation instead of being trapped in the funky situation. So they always play soulful and funky records that had a message. But when I was 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old at the time, I guess the way how instrumental my dad was in playing instruments, and I played with him. So he bought me my first drum set when I was a kid. My mother supported it, and when they both separated, she continued what my dad's contribution was, and she bought me a drum set. And she did some tremendous things with me. When she did buy my second set of drum sets, she had me play particular records, so I wouldn't be just stuck in one genre of music. So she put jazz, reggae, gospel, R&B, and funk and soul before me through her 45s and cassettes and 8-tracks and LPs. I would always go with her to the VIP on Slauson and Crenshaw back in the 70s. Go with her to go pick up her music, or the latest music that she was putting her ears to the streets to. So she was really like a DJ, making her crake. She was building her crake up. And when the art of DJing came, that blew my mind. Back in 1979 at 59th Elementary, 59th Elementary, where Nipsey went as well, and others who grew up in South Central. I seen this man DJ my 6th grade graduation. His name was DJ Reg, and then I incorporated DJing with the art of listening to music, and that blew my mind because my mother was already doing it. Like, it was times where she wouldn't even let me go outside if I was messing up. So she would make me go play her 45s, and she would stack them and order them in the way that she wanted to play. That was a form of programming.
Right.
And then while doing so, I'm looking at the credits. So I'm educating myself on how to read the credits of who's a producer, or who's the writer, or what's the beats per minute on the 45. So that's tooling me and educating me right there, not knowing that that's still in the art of DJing. And reading the credits helped me understand the first and last name basis or just information on who's who.
Yeah.
And by doing so, I just kept going and going, man, until she said, you know what, you belong with me in church. One day we're going to see how they feel about having you as a musician in church. But before then, she put me in there as a vocalist. So I got a chance to sing in a young adult choir as a kid. And that taught me, I would say, singing etiquettes.
Yeah.
And that means knowing what melody, what range that my vocal ability could perform in, alto, soprano, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Rehearsing every other Saturday had me appreciate being on time and memorizing my music away at home. And so when I come back to church, next thing I know, I was so good at it that I got thrust or pushed into singing the lead song. So those kind of things like that, you know, prepared me to be a musician, a producer, and everything. So it's like I had a hands-on experience, really no school, no me reading music or none of that. So that just prepared me for the next phase of becoming something in the industry.
Right. That's beautiful. How much influence does your DJing history have in your beat making process?
How much do my DJ process has an effect on the art of me being a producer or making beats? It did tremendous things for me because, like I was saying earlier in the interview, that reading the credits, knowing who's who, I got a chance to go back in my little crate or library of music I was raised on, and in the art of DJing, I was able to turn people on to the inspiration of where hip hop came from. It was just music before hip hop. So as a DJ, it's called DJ etiquette. You gotta read your audience, listen to the top 20 records that's on the radio, know how to transition each song, coming on and going off to another song. You had to become an MC, which is master of the ceremony, knowing how to speak to your audience, announce what the movement and the theme of what the party is, and so many ways say the right thing to encourage your crowd to embrace what's going on, knowing how to convey information to someone if you need to. Hey, you got your keys left here, come here to the DJ booth, or drinks is last hour for drinks, or if you're here in the party, get off the walls, if you have a request, come to the DJ booth. We're here to give you what you need. You have to captivate the audience so you can leave a reputation, an impression on you being that guy coming up as a DJ. All those things is important as DJ etiquette. And I learned that from the Roger Claytons, from Uncle Jam on me, KGFJ, KGLH, KACE, and KDay. These are all wonderful platforms that I learned hearing radio disc jockeys and how to articulate and captivate the crowd. So given a golden opportunity to take my DJ to another level, Greg Mack is another special part of my life. He the one that created the mix masters because he was inspired. The KDay mix master, he was inspired in what Roger Clayton was doing. He had a slew of DJs that was incredible. So he gave one more opportunity at the Ebony Showcase off of Washington and Crenshaw back in the 80s. 87, matter of fact. It was the last opportunity to become a radio disc jockey or DJ. If you had the personality and vocabulary, you could be a disc jockey and be a radio announcer and stuff like that, and DJ too. But I wasn't ready for that. The DJing aspect for the station, yes, I was ready for that.
Right.
And I won as one of the DJs, you know, contestants to be a KDay mix master, and I was able to amplify all my mixes and reputations through junior high school and high school. I was able to finally be a world-renowned DJ for a radio station. So that kept me out of trouble because, you know, gangbang was at an all-time high and I needed something else so I wouldn't become, you know, I wouldn't shorten my my blessings or opportunity to be who I am today, you know.
Mm-hmm. What was the first song you produced?
It's not really known, but I did something for like a Hispanic Mexican group or whatnot. It was called Light Shade of Brown. I forgot what's the group. Light Shade of Brown is the group, but the song I forgot. So that's the first group I produced. But the one that brought me into the game was a record I produced called The Crips and Bloods, Bangin On Wax. And we did that at the legendary studio and producer himself. He's not here, but his name is Leon Hayward. That's what Dre got the G thing sample from. Yeah. Right off of Crenshaw and Rodeo, which is Obama and Crenshaw. And we had the pleasure to have a legend like him of soul and R&B believe in us, that what we had would take us to another level. So the Bangin On Wax was the foundation and pillar for me to find Domino. And when me and Domino connected through my best friend, like I was saying, you know, we put a few records together and we took it to Anti, Los Angeles, California. Grew up in the Harlems. That's the Rolling 30s. That's a Crip neighborhood, so y'all know. Him and my man Anti, who grew up on 76 in Crenshaw, who was very instrumental in DJ Quick and Second to None and Mork and Steph and Domino life. Even my boy King Lou was an artist that was supposed to come out too. And God bless his soul. So he was over there in the mix with us too. And when I took the 3 demos over there, you know, they had an incredible relationship with Leon Cohen's, who was, at the time I think was an executive or vice president over at Def Jam. And he was able to get the record signed with Russell, and Russell heard it, and it was very unique. And so he embraced the West Coast, and history was made. I never stopped.
Right. So I was gonna ask you after that,